Wise watches. This is the second watch that I've actually featured from them on the channel. I featured their dive watch, which is a 300-meter dive watch that sort of looked like a tuna slash a bottle cap from Seiko. It was a very interesting watch, actually very well made. Today I have another watch to show you. This is the Hitman from Wise. Now, I have to admit right off the bat, when I heard the name, I kind of chuckled because I thought it was a little weird to call a watch a Hitman. I think Wise is a little bit of a funny name as well, but it works. I think it works, but I'm just being honest there. And then it comes in an outer cardboard box. There's an inner box that is also made out of cardboard. On the bottom here, you're getting a tool. You're getting a little instruction manual that is obviously a QR code, just a piece of paper. A polishing cloth, you get a sort of metallic looking warranty card, and then extra links, and then another strap changing tool. So this is a screwdriver, that is a strap changing tool. Pretty cool. So it's a lot of stuff that is coming with this, especially considering the price. We'll get to that in just a minute. Just throwing that aside, putting the inner box here. Now the inner box, like I said, is just a cardboard box, but it's very thick and it's sort of rubberized. Really nice. They make some good looking watches. So this is actually, I would call it the design on here sort of restrained. So they didn't really go all out and do like a crazy design on the watch. They sort of took a really good approach to it and made something that is more of a crowd pleaser, I would call it. I'm going to zoom in really quickly. So here it is a little bit closer in. So you can see it has really nice dimensions. This is a 41 millimeter watch. I think it pretty much spot on at 41 millimeters, depending on how I've measured it, but I've gotten 40.9 and 41 millimeters spot on. And then you are getting female end links on here, so it's really thought out. They've actually thought it out pretty well. The female end links on here, you're at 49 millimeters at the actual lugs, 49 millimeters, so it's 48.6. It's exactly the same, so you have a really true lug to lug on here if you're wearing a bracelet or a strap, which is really nice. And then a 6.8 millimeter crown. Not bad, not great, but not bad. I like to have a little bit over 7 millimeters, but I think that works as well. Thickness on here is actually pretty thin considering you're getting an NH35, 12.2 millimeters, and you're getting 200 meters of water resistance. You also get a sapphire crystal on here. It's just slightly raised above the ceramic bezel. Now, I remember there was actually really good lume on the dive watch, the 300 meter dive watch that I reviewed. We'll do a lume shot at the end. I believe that the bezel is actually lumed on this. All of the indices, and they are applied indices, and they are thickly applied with lume, I believe. You do get a lollipop on the second hand as well. The hands are sort of stick hands that are a little bit different. Those are nicely applied with lume. It just says Wise Hitman, and then it says automatic 200 meters there below or above the 6 o'clock index. That's it. You do get a date there at the 3 o'clock. Like I said, this is an NH35. The 3 o'clock, the index there is sort of cut off, but they actually did a really good job of sort of replacing the index with the date. So there is a large index at the 9 o'clock, sort of counterbalancing that index there at 3 o'clock. Works really well. Usually I don't like a date, but this actually works pretty well. I think they offer this with a no date as well. So this has a date, but you can get it with a no date. So that's awesome. Ceramic bezel insert, by the way. And the finishing on here is very good. Now, you have a big chamfered edge along the bottom of the case. Then you have brushing sort of mid-case, and then another chamfered edge on the top of the case. You have an oyster style bracelet, which is basically all brushed, but very nicely finished. And then it goes to the clasp. The clasp is very small on here. It's kind of weird. I've actually not seen this style clasp on very many bracelets from micro brands. It just says, the W, Wise right there. You have basically an all milled clasp, and it is very small. So I'll throw it on my wrist. That does present some issues for people with larger hands, but for me, it doesn't really matter at all. It actually works pretty well. I've tried it on a few times. You have milled end links, of course. There's no quick release on here, but you do get the tools. And then the case back, it's just Hitman. There's a little crosshair on here. Again, a little weird that it's called the Hitman because this is a dive watch, not really nautically themed at all, but I get it. And then, the name Wise Hitman, it's almost like a sentence. Anyway, you have some polishing, you have brushing, you have circular brushing. Really nicely done. I think it looks really good. And there's, of course, the spec sheet back there, which is great. And then you also get a signed crown, screwed links on the bracelet. So that's actually very nice, especially considering the price. So the price on here is really good. The price is right now at $325, but if you sign up with an email, you get $20 off. So it's $305 basically for this watch. The normal price, or what they normally charge for this, is $545. However, if you go to their website, you're never going to see it for that price. Usually they are on sale from that $545 down to somewhere around $300 and change. $305 is, I think, the lowest that I have seen it thus far, and that is a very good price for this watch, especially considering the quality. Let's listen to the bezel action on here. So the bezel action is really good on here. It is solid, it sounds really good, it feels really good. Some of the better bezel action that I've had on the channel in a while. Really nice. It does get an H35, so you're not getting a Miyota movement in here. However, it is still thin, so it's not a very thick watch, so that's actually pretty good. It's sort of a Tudor Black Bay 41 homage, and it also has a little bit of the Omega Seamaster 300 heritage. If you guys are familiar with that watch, a very little bit of that in here as well. Just the case shape maybe a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. It does definitely look like a Tudor Black Bay to me from the sides. You have that slab side on this side that gives you that Tudor Black Bay look. No drilled lugs, like I said, but again, you get that tool, so that's good. Let me throw it on my wrist really quickly. I have a 7.5-inch wrist. Today, I have on my Mont Blanc Heritage GMT. This is the salmon dial, salmon and blue metallic dial. Really one of the most beautiful dials that I own. I put this on an aftermarket mesh strap, which I think looks really good, but I think that the strap that it came on was really cool as well. I just wanted to change it up a little bit. But this is inspired by Minerva, 40mm watch. Just a beautiful watch. These are kind of expensive though. For what you're getting, because you are getting an ETA movement in here, not a Sellita. You are getting an ETA movement, which is nice, but still pretty expensive for what you're getting. But we'll do a video on that later on. I already did a video on a white dial version, which is really nice as well. So you can see I have very big hands. Because of that short buckle, it gives a little bit of a problem, but not much. And there you go. So 41mm on my wrist, just over 12mm thick, and then you have like a 49mm lug width. The lugs obviously do not hang over my wrist. I think it wears very nice on my wrist. Like I said, the only thing I would say about it is the name of the watch is a little bit weird. Other than that, I think it's a good looking watch. I think it's very well made, especially considering that they're only charging $305. $325 if you don't want to sign up with your email. That's pretty good. And the hang tag here just says, Wise, proud to be Thailand. And that's it. Really cool. Very good looking watch, like I said. And like I said, very well made. This has a blue dial, by the way. I don't know if you could see that. It's not textured. It's sort of a matte dial. And then you have a brushed bezel, which is not very flashy. I think they did a good job at designing this and making it sort of a crowd pleaser. They did a very good job with that. Very quickly, let's do a Lume shot. Check out the Lume and then wrap up the video. Very impressed with Lume on here. It is really nicely applied. Great. For the price, Lume is expensive. I always say this when I see a watch with really heavily applied Lume. They're charging $305 for this watch. Automatic, 200 meters of water resistance, ceramic bezel. That is lumed, and you get this much lume on the indices and the hands. You know, that Lume actually costs a lot of money. It's pretty expensive. I actually said that I would find out how expensive Lume was. I will do that, and I will mention it in one of my next videos because I think it's pretty important. I've heard that it's more expensive than gold, but I don't know that for sure. So anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I want to know what you guys think of Wise. I know they're coming out with other watches. They recently came out with a watch that has 904 stainless steel. They are charging, you know, double the price of this watch. However, it doesn't come on a bracelet. It only comes on a strap. And that one looks very much like an Omega Seamaster 300 Heritage. And I think it's basically a direct homage of that. This has a little bit of that, but more of a Tudor Black Bay 41, in my opinion. Both of those watches are 41 millimeters, so obviously, and that's what they're going for. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of the name, Wise Hitman? What do you think of this watch? Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog, all one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It's really the easiest way to help support the channel. Just open up Amazon using my link and buy anything that you would normally buy through Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It doesn't interrupt your Prime benefits. Nothing changes for you, except it helps support the channel with every purchase. So I just get a small percentage, a small fraction, and it goes to the channel. And I use all of that to reinvest in my channel. As you guys can see, I have been reinvesting into my channel throughout the year. So anyway, thank you for logging on. I will catch you guys in the next video.